And I'm so grateful for everyone who's come out this morning, or this afternoon I should say, and all the hard work that went into celebrating the space that we're in today. We're going to hear from Assembly Members Fahey and McDonald, as well as Deputy Albany County Executive Mike McLaughlin, but we're also joined by County Legislator Carolyn McLaughlin, Common Council Member Derek Johnson, Councilman Sergio Adams. We have Robert Sigathy from MVP Health. We have folks from the South End Neighborhood Association. I saw that Dorcia Clears, our city auditor, is here. And so we're here to really celebrate the next phase of the South End Connector. And when we think about connections, we're here under 787, something that cut this neighborhood off from the riverfront. And we also had connections that were severed to the South End when the Empire State Plaza was built. And so when we think about how we reconnect, it has to be done in a really intentional way. And I'm thankful for the leadership of our planning department. Brad and Palomi are here. We need to give them a huge shout out. We also have to give a huge shout out to my Department of General Services, who worked alongside the planners to make sure that this space was ready for us. And we also have to give a huge shout out to Nyla from my office, who made this even prettier and worked really hard on pulling together this great ribbon cutting. And so we're planning for the next 100 years of the City of Albany. And it starts with looking at what we can do now. Thanks to the leadership of Pat Fahey, there is a study underway right now about the future of 787. But my administration has been about not waiting for a future that might be 10 or 20, or if you talk to the people in Syracuse, 30 years away. We have to start now. We can't give up on these spaces. This is now a space in this neighborhood. So how do we make it a space that this neighborhood can use and be proud of? How can we celebrate the fact that we've created this incredible bike infrastructure in New York State, and we're continuing to build on that bike infrastructure, and not pull the neighborhood into the future that is helping to bring about for not just our city, but for our entire region. And so, because of the hard work of a lot of people that I'm going to be thanking, and I hope I don't miss anyone, we wanted to work with the neighborhood and imagine what could happen here. And at first, people in the neighborhood thought we were a little nuts, because what could happen here? But with the imagination and the hard work and the determination of folks who live right here in this community, we're standing here today as part of the next phase of the South End Connector. And it's part of a transformation that's happening across the South End. We've updated the strategic plan for the South End. The Lincoln Park Pool is under construction. Steamboat Square is undergoing a huge facelift and building new and great spaces for the future that are not only wonderful homes for people, but that are powered by geothermal technology that allows us to heat and cool and not be off-gassing into and adding to global warming. So really exciting things are happening here in the South End. With phase one, as I said, we have a 2-cycle pathway for this corridor. And since the completion of phase one, phase two was about activating the space. And we really wanted to create spaces that the community was demanding. And they wanted things like room to bring food trucks down here. They want to have places and spaces for pop-up events. They wanted an outdoor gym, and we got one courtesy of MVP. Shout out to MVP, thank you. This half-court ADA accessible basketball court. And of course, because we're connected to this incredible bike facility, we created a cycle path And I learned that today we had one young girl who learned how to ride a bike today, right here. So that is what the future holds for the South End, for the city of Albany, for a community that can come together and demonstrate the power of the people, the power of what happens when we listen to one another and when we have broad imaginations. I don't know what the future of this is going to be, but I know that the future of this corridor is limitless, and that what we can do together when we come together is remarkable. And we're seeing it all across the city. It's the power of our residents. It's the power of pride and potential. That's Albany, that's who we are, and that's why I'm so excited to be here today. I want to invite a friend. We couldn't have done this without funding from lots of folks, including our friends in state government, and so I'm so grateful that they're able to be here, and I'd like to invite Assemblymember Pat Fahey to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks to everyone standing here on both sides. This is such an exciting day, and this looks beautiful. And I often say, if we learned no other lesson from COVID, which was so traumatizing for so many, outdoors is probably the safest place to be. And this is about getting more people outdoors and in the fresh air, which will even be fresher. We hope it's not 30 years away. We hope it's in the next few years when we start taking down parts of 787 and thank you, and reclaiming our greatest natural resource by reconnecting Albany fully with its greatest natural resource, the mighty Hudson River. We're so close and yet so far. So all of these, as the mayor said, we're not waiting. It's these types of investments. John McDonald and myself came into office now almost 12 years ago, and it was one of our earliest conversations because this was the 108th district up till 2 years ago. John put in money, then I put in money, and we've been putting in money to help the city with this Reconnector project. Thank you, MVP, the county, and more, because bike paths are also walking paths. They are community gathering places. And I just have to add, Ann Savage, just wave. Ann, just for the last 2 days, has held a statewide conference right here in Albany, with people from all over the state as she heads the New York Bicycling Coalition. And I saw her correct the mayor with an even better number. I guess 8 children learned to bike this morning. So one by one, we are going to just turn all of this around. So thank you for these investments. It's such a win, win, win. And it's not just because we feel good. It's economic dollars and cents when those food trucks come in, when we connect into the towns. We know from the Albany County Rail Trail, it increases property values. It spurs small businesses. Just a win-win all across the board. Thank you, Mayor. It's a great day to be here. And now to introduce John McDonald, who's still the 108th Assembly District. Even if it's not right here, we still tag team and love to partner on so many of these wonderful initiatives. John McDonald.
Thank you, Pat. Good morning, everybody. And a couple of thank yous. First of all, to Rob and your team at MVP. You know, it's great as a healthcare professional to see health insurance companies focusing on wellness and opportunity. And your support, not only here today, but throughout the county, speaks volumes to the integrity of your organization. But more importantly, to the mayor and her team, thank you for your systematic approach to make sure that every neighborhood has proper investment, particularly those that for generations have struggled. The work that we've been able to support under the mayor's leadership is life-changing in many aspects. And you know, it's funny when Ann was talking about the 8 kids, and she reminded me that not only learned how to ride a bike for the first time, but also what a helmet is all about. Because we know Now we want them to be safe and to learn it the right way. So this is great. It's exciting. Glad to be a part of it. Thanks for everybody involved. And now it's my honor to introduce our Deputy County Executive, Mike McLaughlin.
Morning, everybody. On behalf of County Executive McCoy, thank you for having us. To the mayor, our fantastic state representation, county legislators, and city officials, what another fantastic achievement. We're excited to see another installation of a fitness court, fitness facilities. As an outside hobby of mine, I've been known to pick things up and put them down. The mayor knows that. It allows me to be the stunt double for the county executive on a regular basis. So these sort of things are right up my alley from a personal interest, but also generally speaking, we see the health trends in our communities, in our population, and any ability to expand these sort of opportunities for people to have very approachable, easy to use facilities to get them active and moving. It's a no-brainer. And I think the Assemblywoman mentioned connecting into the county rail trail and other facilities, tying together what were once split up different municipal resources to our communities, and connecting them together into a web of very easy to use and well-maintained parks and fitness facilities is a no-brainer. And of course, my phone went off. Sorry about that. Like I mentioned, the county has been involved with fitness courts for a little while now. We have installed one in Guilderland, or assisted in installing one in Guilderland. So having one in the city of Albany, with the population obviously center that it is essential and exciting. We want to continue to expand these. The mayor and I were just recently yesterday at an announcement for some funding for other parks throughout the county, and this is just another example of that. The county was proud to be able to contribute $25,000 for the establishment of these facilities through our partnership with MVP Health in our innovation partnership. So thank you to them as well. So again, on behalf of the county, thanks for having us. We're excited to see this installation and the installation of many more. Thanks so much. All right, the next individual from MVP Health, ignore the Z, Rob Sigathy. Did I say that right? All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Rob Sigathy. I'm a director over at MVP Healthcare. On behalf of MVP Healthcare, I am thrilled to be here today. First, I would like to start off by thanking Mayor Sheehan for the partnership and the support of the Fitness Court project. Without her leadership, this would not have been possible. I'd also like to thank Assemblywoman Pat Fahey, Assemblyman John McDonald, South End Neighborhood Association President Joanne Morton, City of Albany Commissioner for Department of Recreation Jonathan Jones, and Albany County Executive Dan McCoy for your commitment to bring the fitness court to life as part of the South End project commitment. Today in Albany, we celebrate more than just the opening of obviously this court here, but also the MVP Healthcare Fitness Court. We celebrate our commitment of being a true community partner and steward, the role that extends between healthcare services. At MVP Healthcare, we believe that health is not just confined to clinical settings alone, but it thrives in our neighborhoods, parks, and shared spaces. As a community partner, we actively invest in initiatives that promote well-being, foster social connections, and enhance quality of life. The fitness court exemplifies this commitment. By providing this free, accessible facility, we empower individuals to take charge of their health. A true community partner, we recognize our responsibility to nurture the places where we live and work, and with collaboration with the city, local organizations, residents, and this really reflects our shared vision of a healthier, happier community. Whether through fitness programs, community events, or partnering with non-for-profits, MVP Healthcare is here to make a positive impact. So as we cut the ribbons today, let's celebrate the collective effort that transforms Simple Court into a hub of health, connection, and community pride. Thank you for every one of you for being part of this journey, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you on our courts today.
Thank you so much. And before we hear from our last speaker, who is Joanne Morton from the South End Neighborhood Association, who was so instrumental in bringing folks together, I have to echo the shout out to our Department of Recreation. Our Deputy Commissioner, Jess Morgan, is here, and both the Albany Bicycle Coalition, the New York Bicycle Coalition, folks that really worked hard to pull together the event today that allowed 8 kids to learn how to ride bikes. These are the types of community partners that really, they don't just come to meetings and tell us what to do. They come to meetings and tell us how we're going to work together to get things done. And with community partners like that, the sky is the limit, and there really is nothing that we can't do. And we're here today to celebrate just that. And one of those people who comes and shows up and tells us how we're going to get things done is Joanne Morton. I'd like to invite her up to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to everyone who came out and participated in this great occasion. I'm not one for public speaking, and I've sort of been in this role as the president of South End Neighborhood Association for many years, but thanks to everyone that's out today, mayor, council members, department heads. We really appreciate the fact that, you've come out and to see what can be done and what needs to be done here in the South End. When I reflect back to when we started these conversations about the South End Connector, people in the community, didn't necessarily feel like the bike trail was for us, but then when this whole idea about the car and bringing these little, 2 of these little guys down, riding their bikes, training wheels, people bicycling through. I didn't feel like it was necessarily safe for them as beginner riders, but then when we talked, there were surveys done, talked to the planning department, and this whole thing about, and I keep looking back behind me, the lanes for the bicycles, but also for the vendor trucks. It was like, we talked about things that we were concerned about, and I'm happy to see that those things have come to fruition. It's like we mentioned it, and it showed up. The basketball court, as you can see, is designed for, different sized people. So I think the kids, I know these guys, girls, will enjoy using this facility, for many years to come. But it also, attracts kids, I hope, from the community. But by having this space, I envision seeing other things happening here. Last year, our night out events happened like in the park. But I could see that this space being used for that as well, and welcoming people into this space, but also to extend it to the community. Hopefully, folks, as they're riding through, will be drawn into the South End to see what we have to offer and what we're trying to accomplish. So with that, I thank you. I appreciate the effort that's gone into making this park what it is and what it's going to become. Hopefully someday we'll have bathrooms, maybe claiming this building that's next to us. Anything's possible. So we're dreaming, we have the whole thing with Reimagine Albany in 787. So, how this is going to affect the bicycle path, don't know, but we hope to maintain it and hope to benefit from things that are coming forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne, and we have a bathroom pilot happening right now. So we're going to see how that works with the facility that we're putting in Black Lives Matter Park, and if it works there. Now I know who's next on the list, or who wants to be next on the list for the next bathroom facility. And as a grandma, I get it. You know, once they get potty trained, you need to have a bathroom nearby, or you're done, you're toast. So I don't know how we got on that topic, but let's take it back to we're going to cut a ribbon here. I see some basketballs. Okay, so you're going to get to see the mayor dunk right over there. And then we're going to all walk down to the fitness court so that we can check that out as well. All right? So I would love all the community partners. Actually, Ashley is here from Capitalize Albany Corporation. Thank you for your help and for your assistance with this. And let's cut a ribbon and celebrate.
1, 2, 3.